friend or whatever you want to do, and just figure it out. You know, you got to work through those kind of growing pains, and I think once you figure that out and figure yourself out, you'll be able to just kind of go and just know your process.
So speaking of editing, how much, like, if you're vlogging, it seems natural that there wouldn't be much editing. But you find that the more you do it, the more you find that editing does help a lot, and you do it more. I guess if you have any tips on editing to kind of share with people.
I go. I try and hyper edit. I have to edit myself a lot so I don't do the thing. I'll just cut out all those spaces because I try and think of YouTube as a me, now kind of medium where you have to, I mean, every viewer's hand is on the trigger. They can go away at any moment to something else that's shiny and bright and colorful and looks cool. So I try and just throw as much and as fast as I can, so people will hopefully take their hand away from that scary trigger. So I try and cut everything out. But then what I do is so different than saying do a vlog or do something like a one-taker kind of a thing where you really just want to kind of capture everything. So I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do it. But for me personally, I try and just get to the meat of it, get to the juice, just in, out, all the time.
I think with editing, it's really important that if there's a joke that's really funny and you're like, oh, but it's 2 minutes in, don't show the whole 2 minutes. If you can, get to where you set it up and show the joke. Like, the quicker you can make them move, because people's attention spans are so short, so if they're bored in 10 seconds, they're like, oh, and on to something else. So I think with editing, if you watch a movie without music or sound effects, it's not as interesting. So with editing, you can spice things up a lot. Just by adding a sound effect, you can make something funny. Or adding a weird expression, you can make something funny. So it's just playing with it, kind of seeing where there's like a rhythm or a flow to it. Or you're like, oh, that's smooth.
Rhythm. I was going to use, that's a good word.
Oh,
yeah.
I messed it up.
No,
I'm
it's
so
not
sorry.
on purpose. It's okay. We can back it out later.
Oh, we will.
Yeah. I mean, with what I do, I mean, since I script everything out, the editing is definitely one of the shortest parts of the process for me, but that doesn't mean it's not important. It's very important, and I mean, I use a lot of jump cuts, and getting the rhythm correct to make it flow like a slightly faster than normal conversational pace.
This applies for sketches and acting. Like, you just have to go and be true to the character and the script and what you're doing, and most of the time it turns out well. But I think a lot of times I know people that get stuck because they think that their ideas aren't good, or they're like, oh, I had this idea, but it was dumb. I don't think there's any such thing as a dumb idea as long as you're creating content and it's making you happy.
I can second that. I've had many experiences where I have an idea, I'm making it, and I'm going, I don't know if this is that good, and then I post it, and the viewers are like, this is the best video.
That's so funny.